for the final women's quarterfinal match. Sabatini, who defeated Martina at the Italian Open earlier this year, first time ever.
It's interesting that this young woman, Gabriela Sabatini, plays the top-seeded Steffi Graf closer than any other player playing today. Granted, she's lost every time, but more often than not, Gabriela Sabatini knows how to take it to a third set against Steffi Graf. Against Martina, well, they've played 6 times, and as Ted mentioned, only once has Martina lost to Sabatini. That was on the slow red clay of the Italian Open. Every other time, Martina has held court. And on a surface such as this, where Martina will use the speed of the court, you've got to like her chances against Sabatini. Sabatini does not come in nearly as much as Martina, won't press the way that Martina will be doing. So if Martina's serve and volley is cooking, she should get by this round.
In fact, one other score we should update you on, a match men's round of 16 that's being played out on court 16. Miloslav Mechir, the number 5 seed, and Mark Woodford, the qualifier from Australia. They are 1 set apiece. The winner of that match goes into the quarters to play Mats Wilander, while Stefan Edberg will play in the quarters against the winner of the Andrei CHESNOKOV Ramesh Krishna match that has just now begun on the grandstand court. Tonight on USA, Yvonne Lendl and John McEnroe. The schedule is for 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. They're going to try to stick as close to that as possible. They still have a men's match between Gilbert and Connors to play following this Navratilova-Sabatini match. We'll return to Stadium Court. Martina Navratilova and Gabriela Sabatini repeat. On Stadium Court, Martina Navratilova and Gabriela Sabatini warming up for the women's quarterfinal match. Here is Gabriela Sabatini, 17 years of age, in May from Buenos Aires. Her current ranking is number 8. Interesting that she's ranked that high. She's only won 2 titles in her professional career. She's played well in some other tournaments. In this tournament, she has lost only 1 set. Straight set wins over Beverly Bowes, Sarah Gomer, and Ellie Hakami. And then an interesting turnaround in the Bettina Bungie match. That
really was interesting. Bettina had taken court 16, where her friend Claudia Kotakil had just upset Hanna Manlakova, the 4th seed. And I've got to think that it really got Bettina's juices flowing, because she took that first set so easily against Sabatini, but then Gabriela caught up and closed it out very easily, dropping only 2 games.
Martina, a 3-time winner at the U.S. Open. She has also been the runner-up twice, the defending champion, and now ranked number 2 on the computer. Martina has been in the finals of all 3 Grand Slam events previously this year, and in the Open she has had no difficulty. The most games she's lost in a set, 4 in her last match against Katarina Lindqvist. Martina losing to Manlakova at the Australian Open, to Graf at the French, then beating Graf in the finals at Wimbledon. So her Grand Slam events, which is what she counts on, Mary, and she's counting on it again here. She says these are the tournaments that you'd be ready for.
Well, these are the biggies, and Martina knows that having won the Wimbledon title, if she can win the U.S. Open title, she can save what
1 minute,
by her standards, is an off year. For anyone else wouldn't mind the kind of year she's had. She was a finalist at the Australian, as you said, also a finalist at the French. And she did win Wimbledon, the only title she's won, though, in all of 1987. That's a big surprise.
In their history, Navratilova leading 5-1. She won the first 5 times the two players met in straight sets, and Sabatini winning on clay at the Italian Open. These two met here last year in the round of 16 at the U.S. Open. Martina won 6-4, 6-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match will be the best of 3
as we watch them both warming up serves.
Navratilova
serve will be a big factor in this match. Fabrico Valdivieso of
a
Ecuador.
Close friend of yours, obviously, Barry.
Tell you what, we go back some time. Back in Guayaquil.
Oh, Davis Cup days, right?
You never know. It's amazing these days. The umpires are from all over the place, and it's fun to see them coming into these events. I mean, it used to be that the farthest they get from Forest Hills was maybe around Kew Gardens. That was one of the umpires a long way when I used to play the game. Now they're from all over the world.
Well, folks here on Stadium Court, actually folks milling around the tennis center today are kind of a tennis orgy. They're seeing a little bit of everything, and they're seeing all the quality players that are left in the tournament, men's and singles, or men's and women's singles, walking from one court to the other, and you can even wander out to court 16 and watch them cheer.
This is what makes the U.S. Open on a Wednesday afternoon such an exciting event. I mean, everybody walks in here,
Martina
and Martina taking on Sabatini. Chrissy's just been upset. A lot of action.
We still have Connors against Gilbert coming up today. McEnroe against Lendl tonight. Navratilova to serve.
Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen. Take your seats quickly.
We're still trying to get the folks seated behind the
court.
Ends of the court.
Please hold the gates.
Finally, Mr. Valdivieso puts his foot down.
Play.
There's a woman strolling right behind Martina's line of vision. That's why the way.
Law 15.
Missed that pretty big. It takes a while when you play against Sabatini to get used to her excessive topspin. Nicely done.
Law 30.
Ace for Martina. Still playing with that wrap just below her left knee.
A little bit of tendonitis.
.30.
Double fault, and it's deuce.
We mentioned Chris Everett's remarkable U.S. Open record. Well, Martinez isn't too shabby either. For a long time, she couldn't figure out how to win this. But since 1981, she's won this tournament 3 times, runner-up 2 times. She's won the doubles here 6 different times with a bunch of different partners. Martina won the doubles here in 1977 with Betty Stova, in 78 and 80 with Billie Jean King, and 83, 84, and 86 she won with Pam Shriver.
And Martina closes out the first game with her second. Gabriela Sabatini to serve.
15 love.
Sabatini has an interesting motion on the serve. She kind of uncoils. She first looks sideways, and she goes up after the ball and then follows through. Nice looking motion. She gets a lot of a weight into it.
Sabatini switched coaches earlier this year. Her new coach is the Spanish Davis Cupper, former Spanish Davis Cupper, Angel Jimenez, who's been trying to, there he is, and he's been trying to get Gabriela to toss the ball further into the court on her serve to lead it a bit so that she'd be able to come in behind it. She used to toss it way over her head. That's a tough shot. Good length by Sabatini.
30-15.
Here's a look at the Sabatini serve, and as Barry says, it really is a nice fluid motion. I still think that toss gets too far in back of her and keeps her from charging into the net, but it does get better at times. That one was further into the court.
When Jimenez, the new coach, came in with Sabatini, the first thing he did was change her work habits. And now, if I ask her to practice 3 or 4 hours, she does it without question.
Well, that was, Sabatini used to run out of gas. She was never fit enough to really win the tough ones. So it's terrific that she's become more of a Spartan.
Sabatini holds, and we're at 1-all first set.
Martina's laughing at herself there because that was one of the most difficult shots she tried. Touch, forehand volley, angle. Like that about once out of 100 times. But when you make it, is it fun?
It's worth it.
Love 15.
About Sabatini, Martina has said that Sabatini is too slow getting to the ball. Martina says it's still easy to wrong foot her, but she's a good athlete, and when she gets quicker, she'll be dangerous.
Love 30.
Wind may have bothered her on that shot.
She doesn't like the wind. Martina, you know, some players are wind players. Stefan Edberg enjoys playing in the wind. Not Martina. It plays with her volleys. I think it plays with her concentration a little as well.
3 break points for Sabatini.
Oh! 15-40.
I like something that we heard Arthur Ashe say on the show earlier this week. The more distractions, the better. You know, the more wind there is, the more moving around, the worse the conditions, the worse the lighting. Good, because he figures it'll bother his opponent a lot more than it'll ever bother him.
He was a cool customer, that Arthur.
It's been a very rocky service game for Navratilova.
Good. And Sabatini breaks to go up 2-1 first set. This women's quarterfinal match, the final quarterfinal match to be
behind
played.
the courts. Please, ladies and gentlemen,
CHESNOKOV yesterday, Steffi Graf and Lori McNeil today have advanced. McNeil upsetting Chris Evert in 3 sets.
Ooh, close. Ball looked like it skidded off that sideline, and a lot of fans here think the same.
Mary, whatever Martina was wearing, she took off her left knee there during the changeover.
She's trying not to make too much of this tendonitis she's got in her left knee. It's not like it's worrying her enough to pull out of any of the 3 events in which she's still competing: singles, doubles, and mixed.
$30-15.
30-15 on court 16. Miloslav Machir has won the 3rd set to go up 2-1 over Mark Woodford.
Machir's probably out there jerking that Woodford around a little bit, if I know how that match is going, because he can really make you look silly.
Sabatini has been the aggressor thus far in the match. She's taking it to Martina. She's the one who's pressing and closing. Here's a chance for Gabriela to go up 3-1. There's that improved serve.
Sabatini up a break in the 1st set.
Quiet, please.
Knowing Martina, Chris's loss did something to her. Those 2 are very, very close now. Martina feels so much empathy for her friends, and I just get the feeling that she's thinking about that a little bit. I might be wrong. Stayed in. Look at that. Even Martina doesn't think her shot was in. No way, she said. Too close for the chair to overrule.
Quiet, please.
He explained.
Love.
30 love.
40-15.
Very gusty down there now. Martina had to take one or two real quick steps to smash that away.
Some isolated dark clouds moving in over the tennis center, and that's really what's causing the wind to kick up. 40-15.
Game Navratilova.
And Martina holds. Sabatini is still up a break. We're back after these words from your local cable. Sabatini
Quiet,
to
please,
serve.
ladies and gentlemen.
Up a service break here on Stadium Court. So far today, we have seen Stefan Edberg and Mats Wilander finish off victories from matches that were suspended yesterday. Chris Evert has lost, with Lori McNeil going to the semis, and Steffi Graf has won to advance.
Not only is the harsh topspin of Sabatini making Martina lunge around a bit, but the wind as well. Boy, when you play in the wind, you've got to take extra steps all over the place to keep up with the ball, and Martina didn't do that on the last shot.
Sabatini handling the wind better right now than Martina.
Long.
No call.
41.
When Sabatini beat Martina at the Italian Open, she said, I played with a lot of confidence. I knew I had a chance to win, and I did everything perfectly. She's putting together a perfect game right now.
40 love. And ends it with an ace. Sabatini, 4-2 in the first set.
Sabatini leads 4-2.
Dr. Renee Richards and Judy Nelson cheering for Martina.
No question, one of the big improvements in Sabatini's overall game is that first serve. She's hitting a big first serve these days.
$15 love.
On the grandstand, where the men's round of 16, Ramesh Krishnan has won the first set from Soviet Andrei CHESNOKOV.
$30 love.
That's the shot you're talking about, Mary, right there where the ball goes behind her. She can't change directions quickly enough, gets caught.
That's what Martina says. It's the biggest single difference between Graf and Sabatini is footwork. Graf would have had that.
40 love.
Watch the footwork of Gabriela. Stretches, change directions, lunges for this low backhand angle. But she's long and lanky, you know, it's not that easy to change directions.
I think she's got to cut down her strides a little bit, and her first off the mark, that first step has got to be more explosive. It's getting better though.
40-15.
40-15. Martina making a fair number of errors, unforced errors in this first set.
Game Navratilova.
Oh, Martina holds. Sabatini still up a break first set.
No.
She's up a break at 4-3 in the first set.
Yes.
15 love.
The serve set it up. Good forehand volley. Talk about touch. Stretches low. Look at that angle. And they say John McEnroe does that pretty well.
She's got the hands.
Oh.
30 love.
It's almost like Sabatini's entering that zone.
That's just pure athletic ability. Great timing from the baseline. Good wrist.
You make it sound so easy.
Oh.
30-15.
That had to feel pretty good because Sabatini's been going to Martina's forehand more often than not, so Martina likes the fact that she won a point off a forehand approach. That should help her confidence.
30 all.
No.
40-30.
It's just unusual to see Martina having to be reactive. I mean, normally it's Martina who dictates the points out there, and you see the other opponent scrambling around. But it's been Sabatini who's been in charge of those rallies,
Well,
even at the net.
There aren't too many women players in the game, Mary, that have the ability to do that against Martina.
Sabatini continues to keep that service break lead.
Sabatini lead.
He's up 5-3 in the first set. Don't forget that Robert Klein time returns to USA Network Sundays at 10 p.m. beginning this Sunday, September 13th. Close personal friend of Barry McKay.
He was up here last year, and we had some fun with Robert Klein for a few moments or more.